Children, now let us move on to the next chapter, Joint Stock Company. In the Unit 2, Forms of Business Organization, we are moving to the next chapter, sixth chapter, that is Joint Stock Company. As you all know, to overcome the disadvantages and difficulties faced by the sole proprietorship and partnership business, joint Hindu family business, there emerged a new form of business organization that is called joint stock company. Okay, this joint stock company is a one which suits the needs of the growing population and globalization and whatever it is. Then joint stock company is a distinct type of business organization in the business world. The advancement in science and technology and the impact of industrial revolution have all necessitated a large amount of capital investment and highly sophisticated managerial skill for running a large scale industry. So this type of joint stock company came into existence. Joint stock companies in India are governed by the Companies Act 2013, formerly had the Act of Companies Act of 1956. After so many years, the amendment was made in the Act, and at present we are having the Companies Act 2013. It has been divided into 29 chapters and 470 sections to suit the business world. This act actually came into force on 12th September 2013 with a few changes, like earlier the companies, the maximum number of members was 50. Now it has been changed to 200. So like that. Then we are going to see the definitions given by the Lord Lindley, definition given by Lord Lindley about this joint stock company. He is saying about this joint stock company, a company is an association of many persons who contributes money or money's worth to a common stock and employ it in some trade or business, and who shares the profit and loss as the case may be arising therefrom. So this is a very simple definition. The definition, it would suggest the meaning that the association of many persons, those who contribute money or money's worth to the common stock, and they would share the profit arise therefrom among upon the agreed ratio or upon that nature of shares they held. Then next, this definition is given by Lord Lindley. The next definition is a company is an artificial person created by law having a separate entity with a perpetual succession and a common seal. This definition is given by Section 2 of the Companies Act 2013. That is, it is very clear that a company stood as an artificial person. It is a separate person. It is not connected with the person, those who manages it or those who have started it, like that. And it is having a separate entity. See, the like in partnership, the death of the partner, insolvency of the partners will affect the partnership business. So in this case, anything happens to the managers or employees or the officials will not affect the continuous working of the company. So this is called the separate entity. And perpetual succession means continued, it will be continuing, the business will be continued unless and otherwise a specific thing happens or any rule of the government may apply to wound up the company, so the company will have the perpetual succession and a common seal will be there for a company. So these two are the main definitions about the joint stock company. Children, now let us discuss the characteristics of this joint stock company. As we discussed earlier, the first and foremost thing is separate legal entity. That is, this company is different from the owners, members, shareholders of that thing. So the company is distinct from its members. It has its own seal and own name, and its assets and liabilities are separate and distinct from those of its members. So it can borrow money, add property, employ people, it may have a bank account separately. Next one is limited liability. See what I mean by limited liability? See, if any laws occur, unfortunately, means the personal properties of the shareholders or the managerial people will not be taken it to pay to the creditors. So they are limited. They have the liability of up to that face value of the share held by them. Only the uncalled value of the share must have to be paid. Next one is perpetual succession. Perpetual succession means the company does not cease to exist unless specifically wound up or the task for which it was formed has been completed. So the membership, the company will continue its operations even if anything happens to the shareholders or managerial persons. Though the company is created by law and it can be wound up only through the legal process. Next one is separate property. The same thing. The company is a distinct legal entity. So any member of the company cannot claim that the properties are his properties of the companies are his own. So the company's properties are different from the members. Transferability of shares. This is the very, very important thing. The members, those who are the shareholders, those who are having the shares of the company, can easily transfer his shares to some other persons by following the proper that is rules and regulations and other things. So easily the shares can be transferred. The one who get the shares immediately will become the shareholder of the company, which is not possible in the partnership business. Next one is common seal. As we discussed earlier, this company, joint stock company, have a common seal. The name and the emblem or logo will be affixed on that common seal. Any document, any agreement, any contract entered by the company will be bearing the common seal along with the signature of the authorized signatories. Capacity to sue and being sued. The company can sue or be sued on its name as distinct from its members. So it can file a case against any person, and any person can file a case against the company, not on the managerial people or on the shareholders. Then separate management. Company is administered and managed by the managerial personnel or the board of directors. The shareholders of the shares in the company need not necessarily be the managers of the company. The managing top level management or those who are having the maximum number of shares will automatically manage the company. One share, one vote. So unlike stock company, see, if a person is having 100 shares means he can have 100 votes. So it is obvious that those who are having maximum number of shares will control the all the affairs of the company.